Hello, y'all. Simplymary here. So, this segment is dedicated to me, where I would have my girl, Miss Shasta, as I call her, Miss Shay, who will be interviewing me, asking me questions. So, I don't know what's coming, but I'm prepared. I'm more prepared, as you can see. Simplymary merchandise. Yes, you'll be able to buy it soon. I'll be sipping on a little. Okay, that's good. Let me get one more, because I don't know what she could ask me.
Yeah, bottoms up. Go ahead. Bottoms up.
Woo, y'all. Tell you, it's a lot of vulnerability. But guess what? I'm ready for it.
Come on.
Okay, introducing my girl, Miss Shay. Let's go.
Baby, let's roll, because I came prepared for you today.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm ready.
I am grateful to be here with you today and to get a chance to help the people learn a little bit more about who Mary is. And with you being on your P's and Q's today, I'm just glad that you're ready for this first question that I may have for you, because I need you to give me the full, unadulterated, transparent answer you can give me.
Okay, Lord.
And remember, I know you.
Oh, Lord, y'all. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we're here for a good time,
I'm ready
y'all.
for it. I'm ready for it. Come on, give it to me. First question. Let's go. Hey. Simply Mary here. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here today to go ahead and answer many of the questions that many of you have been having. How did I get to this side of happiness? How did I get to this side of joy after so much I've been through? Yes, you've heard things, you know things. Well, you have questions. I have some answers. And it's important. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, because I promise you, this broadcast, this podcast was made for you to share your stories, for you to share your testimonies. And that's what I plan on doing. But right now, let's go ahead. Let's start it off with me. Let's start it off with my story. We're going to rewind. We're going to go back. Come on with me. Thank you.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Jason.
What's up?
What's up?
Listen, this has been a journey.
It has.
For a long while. You've been rocking with me since before I got started. When I first started.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to get you to do some stuff. Probably about 3-4 years now. So we're here. But this story don't start in 2018-19 when I started shooting videos. This story starts really 2015, 2016. So,
yeah.
What happened in 2016?
So in 2016, my daughter, Marve French, went off to college, and she came home stricken with some type of illness. We didn't know what was going on with her. So at the time, taking her to the doctors, we find out that she was suffering from some type of autoimmune, some type of ailment. So Satan got busy when I got the diagnosis that something was really going on with my daughter. My marriage failed. My job wasn't understanding, so I had to walk away from my job. I walked away from a beautiful home that I had at the time, and my marriage. So it was a total new beginning with me and my girls. And now we had this diagnosis. We had this beautiful young lady, 21 years old, now stricken with the illness. And we didn't know what to do. We didn't, there was no instruction manual on how to take care of her. We had to figure it out. We was being told she have MS, she has stiff person syndrome, she has this, she has Parkinson's. we got all kind of diagnosis for Marvay, and it was a scary time early on. It really was.
So, what did it end up being?
Really, in the end, we still didn't know what Marvay had, but they were treating her for something autoimmune. We knew it was something autoimmune going on with her body. So I was told it was something around the lines of Parkinsonism, autoimmune, limbic encephalitis, some type of encephalitis. So she would get some IVIG infusions. We would go to Baylor and get IVIG infusions, and it helped for a little bit, but eventually Marvay, she lost all activities of her hands, her legs. She was not able to feed herself. She was no longer able to walk on her own. Body tense, muscles, some of the most painful muscle pain ever. Dystonia, where she would freeze when she would try to walk. It's like she would tell her brain to move her legs, tell her brain to move her arms, but they wouldn't move. So this was a hard adjustment for us, to see your beautiful child go from being perfectly healthy to now she can't do absolutely nothing for herself.
And not just perfectly healthy, she was like living life.
Yeah.
In school, had friends.
Marvay is the reason why I ended up at the church I'm at.
Because one random Sunday, the choir had just got done singing.
Yep.
And PK was like, what did he say? Whoever want to come join the choir, come up here.
No,
but,
it wasn't even join
you're right.
church.
No, it was What did he do, Mary? I forget. Go ahead, tell it.
No, it was a Sunday. The spirit was just so high, and he opened up the doors of the church.
Yeah.
And he just told whoever wants to join, y'all come on the stage with me.
Oh yeah, he said, hey, y'all come on. Don't
right.
Don't wait. Don't think about it.
And it was like 60, 70 people, if not more. And Marvay just jumped up like, I'm joining. And I'm like, okay, And so, Marvay, myself, and Brene, we went on the stage and joined the church. And it was a beautiful thing because now they were adults. They knew what they needed for their life and what direction they needed to take as adults in their spiritual life. And they fell in love with the Lighthouse Church and Pastor Keon. So that's how I ended up joining and truly becoming a member, because I followed the direction of my then now grown adult daughters.
What's funny is I remember coming into the church, and that's why we had that carpet. We had that carpet. And y'all think I used to sit in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Like middle towards the midsection?
Midsection, because we like to look head on.
Like, I don't know why I remember seeing you guys there every Sunday. But this is before we even got close, ever.
Yeah.
But it was just like y'all always had a smile. All three of y'all. Gigi was obviously KDZ, but yeah, y'all always had a smile.
Yeah.
And so to go from seeing a family, just smiling. Here's the amazing thing. You never stop smiling.
No.
Even though the situation was no longer pleasant. So while something would have took you out, it actually seemed like it strengthened your faith.
Yeah. I had choices. I could have given up. I had a choice where I could have put my daughter away in some type of home for them to care for her. That's nothing I ever decided. I knew that was something I would never do.
That would have been the easy way out.
Yeah. But God didn't see fit. God gave me, and I know it's nobody but God. God gave me this supernatural strength that I know only came from God. I don't even know how I did what I did, Like, I would have to lift my daughter from the wheelchair to the bed, from the bed to the wheelchair, from the wheelchair to a chair, from wheelchair to the car, pick up the wheelchair. And as you can see, I'm a small person. I don't know where I do know where the strength comes from. Nobody but God gave me that type of strength and that resilience to keep going. And not only that, even though my baby was sick, she was one of the most happiest persons ever. She still had a smile. She still made you laugh. Had a personality out of this world. So I couldn't give up. I just couldn't give up.
Wasn't her favorite song, one of her favorite songs was Smile by Kirk Franklin?
Anything Kirk Franklin. My kids love Kirk Franklin, and it was just our morning ritual every morning to wake up, turn on the TV, turn on Kirk Franklin, and it was always I Smile. That was her morning song, and that's how we would start our day.
All right, so faith, the strength, having to, it's easy to proclaim to be a Christian. It's harder to actually live it out.
Right.
Right? And to say that the strength of the Lord was on you so much so that you didn't care about what people were saying. Like, you showed up to rehearsal. I remember one time Keith said something, and it wasn't to me. You talked later on, and I know he was talking about you. And he was like, you don't know what people are dealing with till you get here.
Right. Like,
people are showing up, and we don't recognize it's taking everything out of them to get to this place. And so we get to a place where, you know, things are happening with Marvin. It's a 4-year journey.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
So 2019.
We woke up, and she had passed away at home unexpectedly. I mean, she had just went through a bout of treatment at TIER Rehabilitation Center. She had just had her 25th birthday in August.
So y'all had a party.
We had a big old party at TIER. They said they had never seen anything like that before. And she came home. She was doing well. Well, we thought she was doing well. But the night before her passing, she said she wasn't feeling good, but she didn't want to go to the hospital. And she told G she was tired. She didn't want to go back to any more hospitals. And I told her, that's fine. I'll take you in the morning. Go ahead and get some rest tonight. But first thing in the morning, I'm going to take you in the morning. And I still see God's hands in it. And the reason why I say that is because our normal routine was Brene turning on the TV, turning on the music, Gianni upstairs getting dressed for school. I'm downstairs preparing to take Gianni to school. But that morning, for some reason, I got up early. And I was the person to go in the room. And I'm the one that found her, not Brene. And I say God is gracious because I couldn't imagine Brene finding her sister, but I knew she was gone. And our life changed forever that day.
So you go from the body locking up, right? Brain telling you to do something, but the body's not responding. The nerves are not responding. I think you remember telling me one time she would just have these like screaming. The pain was so excruciating that
it was she would be in so much excruciating pain from the body tense. And the medication, it's a medication called carbidopa levodopa. It altered my daughter's way of thinking, behavior. Marve would go days screaming from sun up to sundown. And sometimes we can get her under control. Sometimes we couldn't. We would start videoing because that's what the doctor told us, because many times they didn't believe us about what the medicine was doing to her, so we would video. And when we would show her back the video of what she did and the behavior caused by it, she couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. But if she did not take it, she wouldn't be able to move her limbs at all. She would be completely stiff. So taking the carbidopa levodopa would cause her to have some type of movement, even if it was uncontrolled movement. But it was a price to pay, and much of it was the side effect of her screaming and not having control of her behavior.
So you had to go from not knowing what it is to even really be a caretaker.
I had caretakers. But I had them for a certain amount of hours. I got up to, at one point I had up to 4 or 5 caretakers at a time. I would go to work, they would care for her while she was home. At one point, financially, it got so hard, I literally had to leave the city, leave my baby here sick with my brother, my sister, and even my ex-husband at the time stepped in to help to care for her while I moved to Virginia to make more money to care for my kids, my family. And I did that for almost 5 months. And I stayed with my niece in Hampton. And I would go to work in Richmond, Virginia, drive. Then I would come home. So, yeah, it was a challenge.
So we go from not having a normal routine to your new normal to now everything just stops.
Yeah.
COVID. It shifts forever. So, but something began in you, right? You didn't just care about your child.
No.
Something in you grew because you were like, okay, if I'm having this many questions, how many other people or how many other parents are having questions about their children or their loved ones going through this thing? And you kind of just started this deep dive.
Jason, that really wasn't birthed for me. That was really birthed from Marve. We was at Tear Memorial, and imagine being 21 years old. I mean, Marve was thriving. She had a boyfriend. She was 3 months away from leaving to go to the military. She had friends. She had a life. And when she got sick, everything. People stopped coming to see her. Boyfriend went away. Friendships went away. Even family that was like around her age, you know, their lives went on, which is normal. And hers stopped. And at one point she became angry and bitter. But then she started seeing other people at Tear around her age as well. And she realized she wasn't by herself. And she was like, you know, Mama, what is that grandma used to say all the time? And I was like, love always wins. And she said, yeah, Mama, we're going to just have to love people through this and not be angry and upset. And let's help other people. It's other people my age going through this. They probably don't have no friends. They probably don't know what to do. Let's help them. So that's how Love Always Wins was birthed. It wasn't my idea. This was birthed before Marve passed away. This was her dream. That was her passion.
Wow. Wow. So Love Always Wins. Which my first time Love Always Wins was when we went to Morgan's Wonderland.
Yeah.
Because I remember at the time, for me, I was dealing with trying to figure out if my son was on the spectrum or not. He was nonverbal, and you was like, Jay, you was even kind of encouraging me through that thing. And I remember,
to treat him normal.
Yeah, which
treat him normal.
They was like, oh, well, we have no reason to find any reason. I'm like, that's cool. I said, but I'm still going to handle him accordingly. I thank God that we able to get the resources and things of that nature, because a lot of people don't have that people in that corner to put them in directions and tell them how to raise their children or handle them and things of that nature. But Morgan's Wonderland was a place that you guys found before Marve passed away.
Yeah.
Where it's this theme park that caters to the disabled. So tell us about Morgan's Wonderland.
Morgan's Wonderland is in San Antonio, Texas. I tried to do as much normal stuff with Marve, even though she was wheelchair bound. We still went to the park. We still went to the pools. We still went to the beach. She liked sushi. We still went to go eat sushi. Marve used to like to flirt with the waiters. You know, we just tried to live as much as a normal life, even in her condition, as possible. And so someone told me about this theme park in San Antonio for kids with disabilities. And so myself and her Uncle Lincoln, Brene, and Gianni was like, we're going. So we took a trip, just us, to Morgan's Wonderland. And we fell in love. Marve could get on the train with a wheelchair. She could ride little carousels in her wheelchair. It was so much for her to do, and just to see her light up, to just be a regular, adult going to a theme park. No, they didn't have fancy big rides and all that kind of stuff, but it was things she can do since she couldn't walk no more, that she could roll in the wheelchair and still ride a ride, still get on the carousel, sensory things that she can do with her hands. And
the water park area was crazy.
When we went, the water park wasn't there. Can you believe that?
God. I want to go back. Listen, I had fun at Morgan's Wonderland.
The water park wasn't there when we first went. That came later. That came actually after Marve passed.
So that's why I wanted to bring up Morgan's Wonderland, because Love Always Wins, born from Marve, is crazy. You didn't stop after she passed away. You literally created Love Always Wins, a nonprofit organization. And one of the beginning things that you did, I mean, obviously gathering resources to be able to give information, like you said, create this community. And even have a relationship with the doctors and the caretakers. Mm-hmm. But you say, you know what? What if we go get a bus full of kids, whether they were nonverbal, autistic, disabled, and we about to take them to Morgan's Wonderland, because they deserve to have the opportunity to live the life as normal as possible.
Well, let me tell you how that was birthed. After Marve passed, I needed to get away. I didn't want to be around nobody. So I went to Surfside, got a beach house, and coincidentally, the name of this beach house was called the Blue Mermaid. And if anybody know me and know my daughters, we always say we're mermaids. And so it was just perfect for me. And so I went to this beach house, Surfside, and I was able to pray one-on-one with God. Like, God, show me my next steps. Show me how to go forward after my baby passes. Because I did. I wanted to give up. I was going through so much talk, people saying stuff. It was crazy. And I need to quiet the noise. And I needed to soothe my heart. And God showed me the only way you're going to get better is by helping others, loving others. What would Marve do? If Marve was here, she would want you to help and bless others. And so he gave me the vision to take kids and their parents to Morgan's Wonderland. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't have no money. I came back home and told Brene, I told Gianni what God had showed me. They said, come on, let's do it. And that's when God ordered my steps, every step of the way, and showed me how to make this happen. And so we raised money. Every penny, every cent was given by people loving Marve, knowing our story, people donating $1,000, $500, $50, $75, $100. They captured the vision with us. And we ended up taking a bus of 52 people with their parents, with Love Always Win volunteers. And we took kids who could not speak. We took kids who had hearing problems. We took some adults who had never even left out of the city ever before. They hadn't, they've been sick. Now they wheelchair bound. Their parents didn't know how to get them, to do these type of things. And I think the best part of the trip was the Buc-ee's experience.
Absolutely.
Many of the kids had never, ever been to Buc-ee's before. And to see these babies going to Buc-ee's, buy whatever they want, candy, chips, popcorn.
They would have been happy with that. Because Buc-ee's, they had such a good time at Buc-ee's.
They did. And just walking around, it was beautiful. Marve would have been so happy.
So one of my biggest memories there is, and I think we showed it in the video when we did the recap, is you had, was that your nephew in a wheelchair?
No, that was my niece.
Your niece?
My niece, Timsha, who had a stroke when she was young, and now she's wheelchair.
Had her in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you telling Brene, girl, come on. Y'all, and y'all went through the water park, and y'all were just having so much fun. Like, I still remember, because I did it in slow motion, but it was just like the smiles were so bright. Just weaving in and out, like the water thing, and Brene just like, it was just crazy.
It was beautiful.
And so, that's happening. And we had so many different plans for Love Always Wins. And then we run into a pandemic.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic, something else begins to happen a little bit afterwards, right?
Yeah. Actually, see, everyone thinks Simplymary just came about now. I remember you having a conversation with me like, Mary, you need to share your story. You need to get your story out there. You need to tell other parents how you made it through.
And you kept saying, not yet, Jason.
And I kept saying, not yet. Not yet. Because I didn't even want to tell you what we were experiencing at home. Mm-hmm.
East Coast always in me, Commonwealth, Lil Jon, getting love from my city. Yeah. I roll call for the DMV.